if you want to be wealthy and happy, let me tell you something right now. It's not going to happen by accident. It's not going to happen by luck. It's not going to happen because you wish for it or hope for it or dream about it. Wealth and happiness are the result of specific disciplines, practiced daily. They're the result of understanding certain principles and applying them consistently over time. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. You see, most people think that wealth and happiness are somehow connected to circumstances outside of themselves. They think if they just had more money, they'd be happy. Or if they just had the right job, the right relationship, the right opportunities, then everything would fall into place. But that's backwards. That's completely backwards. Wealth and happiness don't come from the outside in. They come from the inside out. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Think about that. You design happiness. You create it. You build it. You don't wait for it to arrive. You don't expect it to just show up one day. You make it happen through the choices you make, the thoughts you think, the actions you take every single day. If you want to be wealthy and happy, the first thing you need to understand is that you are responsible. Totally, completely, 100% responsible for where you are right now and where you're going. Not the economy, not the government, not your boss, not your parents, not your circumstances, you. Until you accept that responsibility, nothing changes. Until you say, I am the problem and I am the solution, you remain stuck. You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. This is the foundation of everything. You can't control what happens around you, but you can control what happens within you. You can control your attitude. You can control your effort. You can control your learning. You can control your disciplines. And when you control those things, you begin to create wealth and happiness. Now, let me talk to you about wealth first, because there's so much confusion about this. Wealth is not evil. Wealth is not wrong. Wealth is not something to be ashamed of. Wealth is simply the result of providing value to the marketplace. If you want to be wealthy, you must become more valuable. You must develop skills that people will pay for. You must learn to solve problems that matter. You must become someone worth hiring, worth promoting, worth investing in. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. If you want to be happy, study happiness. It sounds simple, but most people don't do it. They want to be wealthy, but they study poverty. They complain about the rich. They criticize success. They focus on what they don't have instead of learning how to create what they want. If you want something, study it. Learn about it. Understand it. Model people who already have it. I remember when I was 25 years old, broke, with nothing but pennies in my pocket. And someone said to me, if you want your life to change, you've got to change. If you want things to get better, you've got to get better. That was the turning point. That's when I realized that my financial situation was a direct result of my personal philosophy. My bank account was a reflection of my thinking, my habits, my disciplines. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Your job will give you a living, but personal development will give you a fortune. See, when you go to work, you make money. When you work on yourself, you make yourself more valuable. And the more valuable you become, the more money you'll make. It's that simple. Income rarely exceeds personal development. If you've got $1 million skill set, you'll find a way to make $1 million. If you've got a $10,000 skill set, that's about what you'll make. So stop focusing on making more money and start focusing on becoming more valuable. Increase your skills, expand your knowledge. Develop your character. Transform your thinking. Now, here's what's interesting about wealth and happiness. They both require the same thing. Discipline. You can't be wealthy without discipline. You can't be happy without discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Discipline is what allows you to do what you need to do when you need to do it, whether you feel like it or not. We must all suffer from one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is discipline weighs ounces while regret weighs tons. Which pain are you willing to endure? Are you willing to discipline yourself to save money when you want to spend it? Are you willing to discipline yourself to learn when you'd rather be entertained? Are you willing to discipline yourself to work when you'd rather rest? If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to develop financial discipline. You've got to learn to pay yourself first. You've got to learn to save before you spend. You've got to learn to invest in your future instead of just consuming in your present. This isn't complicated, but it requires discipline. It requires you to delay gratification. It requires you to think long-term instead of short-term. Don't spend your life making a living. Spend your life designing a life worth living. Most people are so busy making a living that they forget to make a life. They're so focused on paying bills that they never build wealth. They're so caught up in the urgent that they neglect the important. But if you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to change that pattern. Here's a simple formula for wealth. Spend less than you earn and invest the difference. That's it. That's the formula. But most people do the opposite. They spend more than they earn and go into debt. Then they wonder why they're stressed, why they're broke, why they can't get ahead. It's not a mystery. It's mathematics. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to learn the power of compound interest. You've got to understand that small amounts, invested consistently over time, grow into massive amounts. But you've got to start. You've got to begin. You can't wait until you have more money. You've got to start with what you have right now. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. And this is why you must start now. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Not when conditions are perfect. Now. Today. Because every day you wait is a day of compound growth you lose forever. Start investing in yourself. Start investing in your future. Start putting money away. Start building wealth. Now let me talk to you about happiness, because this is even more misunderstood than wealth. People think happiness comes from external things. They think, if I just get that car, I'll be happy. If I just get that house, I'll be happy. If I just get that promotion, I'll be happy. But happiness doesn't work that way. Learn to be happy with what you have while you pursue all that you want. This is the secret. This is the balance. You can be content and ambitious at the same time. You can be grateful for today while working toward tomorrow. You don't have to choose between appreciating what you have and wanting more. You can do both. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you must develop an attitude of gratitude. You must learn to appreciate what you have. You must recognize your blessings. You must see the good in your life right now, not just focus on what's missing. Because here's the truth. If you're not happy with what you have, you won't be happy with more. If you're not grateful now, you won't be grateful then. Happiness is not by chance, but by choice. You choose happiness every day, every moment. You choose your attitude. You choose your perspective. You choose how you respond to what happens. No one can make you unhappy without your consent. No circumstance can steal your joy unless you allow it. If you want to be wealthy and happy, surround yourself with the right people. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look at your friends. Look at their attitudes, their habits, Their lifestyles, their incomes. That's your future unless you change your associations. If you hang around complainers, you'll become a complainer. If you hang around winners, you'll become a winner. Some of you need to change your associations. I'm not saying be mean to people. I'm not saying abandon your friends. I'm saying you need to be careful who you spend your time with, who you take advice from, who influences your thinking. If someone's not going where you want to go, they can't show you how to get there. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to read books. You've got to study. You've got to learn. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. The school system will teach you enough to get by. But if you want to thrive, if you want to excel, if you want to become wealthy and happy, you've got to commit to lifelong learning. Read books on success. Read books on finance. Read books on happiness. Read books on philosophy. Read books on personal development. Read biographies of successful people. Learn from those who've already been where you want to go. Miss a meal if you have to, but don't miss a book. That's how important reading is. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to set goals. You've got to have something you're working toward. You've got to have a target, a destination, a purpose. The reason most people never reach their goals is that they don't define them or ever seriously consider them as believable or achievable. You can't hit a target you can't see. You can't reach a destination you haven't defined. Write down your goals. Be specific. Make them measurable. Set deadlines. Read them every day. Think about them. Visualize them. Work toward them. Goals give you direction. Goals give you motivation. Goals give you a reason to develop discipline, to work hard, to keep going when things get tough. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to understand that success leaves clues. Successful people do certain things consistently. Wealthy people have certain habits. Happy people have certain attitudes. Study them. Learn from them. Model them. Don't reinvent the wheel. Find someone who's already achieved what you want and do what they did. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. It's not complicated. It's not mysterious. It's not reserved for the lucky or the gifted. Success is simply doing the right things consistently. Save a little every day and you'll be wealthy. Be grateful every day and you'll be happy. Learn a little every day and you'll be wise. But here's the thing, failure is also simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. You see, it works both ways. If you spend a little more than you earn every day, you'll end up broke. If you complain a little every day, you'll end up miserable. If you waste a little time every day, you'll end up with a wasted life. Small errors repeated daily lead to failure and disaster. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to understand the power of habit. Your habits are either taking you toward wealth and happiness or away from it. There's no neutral. You're either developing good habits or bad habits. You're either building yourself up or tearing yourself down. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. What are your daily habits? What do you do every single day? Do you read or watch TV? Do you save or spend? Do you learn or waste time? Do you focus on solutions or problems? Do you associate with winners or losers? Your daily habits determine your future. Change your habits, change your life. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to take care of your health. What good is all the money in the world if you're too sick to enjoy it? What good is success if you don't have the energy to appreciate it? Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Your health is your wealth. Without health, nothing else really matters. Exercise regularly. Eat well. Get enough sleep. Manage your stress. These aren't optional if you want to be wealthy and happy. These are essential. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through life. Maintain it. Respect it. Treat it well. You can't perform at your best if you're not taking care of yourself. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to give back. You've got to contribute. You've got to serve. Only by giving are you able to receive more than you already have. There's something about giving that opens up channels of receiving. There's something about serving others that brings joy to your own life. Don't wait until you're wealthy to start giving. Give now. Give what you can. Give your time, your talent, your resources. Giving is better than receiving because giving starts the receiving process. When you give, you set in motion a cycle of abundance. When you help others, you help yourself. When you add value to other people's lives, your own life becomes more valuable. This isn't just philosophy. This is reality. This is how the universe works. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to develop a prosperity consciousness. You've got to believe that wealth is possible for you. You've got to see yourself as worthy of success. You've got to eliminate poverty thinking from your mind. We become what we think about most of the time. If you constantly think about lack, you'll experience lack. If you constantly think about abundance, you'll experience abundance. Watch yourself talk. Listen to the words you say to yourself. Are you speaking prosperity or poverty? Are you affirming possibility or limitation? Are you programming yourself for success or failure? Your words are powerful. Your thoughts create your reality. Don't say, if I could, I would. Say, if I will, I can. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to be patient with the process, but intense with execution. Building wealth takes time. Developing happiness takes practice. You can't rush the process, but you can accelerate it through consistent, focused effort. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. Plant your seeds. Water them daily. Tend them faithfully. Don't expect a harvest tomorrow. But trust that if you keep planting, keep watering, keep tending, the harvest will come. The miracle of the seed in the soil is not available by affirmation. It is only available by labor. You've got to do the work. You've got to put in the effort. You've got to be consistent. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to embrace problems as opportunities. You've got to see challenges as chances to grow. You've got to understand that obstacles are not blocking your path. They are your path. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for fewer problems, wish for more skills. Every problem you solve makes you more valuable. Every challenge you overcome makes you stronger. Every obstacle you face teaches you something. Successful people have problems too. Wealthy people have challenges too. Happy people face difficulties too. The difference is in how they respond. They don't run from problems, they run toward them. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to manage your money wisely. You've got to have a plan for your finances. You've got to know where your money is going. You've got to budget. You've got to track. You've got to be intentional. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. How much are you saving? How much are you investing? How much are you spending on things that don't matter? How much are you wasting on things you don't need? Get serious about your finances. Get disciplined about your money. Money is a tool. Use it wisely. Make it work for you instead of working for it. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to develop multiple sources of income. Don't depend on one job. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Create options. Build assets. Develop streams of income that flow even when you're not working. Profits are better than wages. Wages make you a living. Profits make you a fortune. Learn to invest. Learn about real estate. Learn about stocks. Learn about business. Learn how to make your money work for you. The wealthy don't just earn money, they invest money. They understand compound growth. They understand passive income. They understand leverage. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to live below your means. You've got to spend less than you earn. You've got to resist the temptation to keep up with others. You've got to stop trying to impress people who don't even like you by buying things you don't need with money you don't have. That's not wealth, that's stupidity. Don't mistake activity for achievement. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're productive. Just because you're working doesn't mean you're building wealth. Just because you're spending doesn't mean you're happy. Be intentional. Be purposeful. Be strategic. Focus on activities that actually move you toward your goals. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to understand that money is a reward for service. The more value you provide, the more money you'll make. The more problems you solve, the more valuable you become. The more people you help, the more success you'll experience. To get more, you must become more. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop looking for get-rich-quick schemes. Stop trying to find the easy way. There is no easy way to wealth and happiness. There's only the right way: consistent effort, continuous learning, disciplined action, and patient persistence. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to learn from your mistakes. You've got to embrace failure as feedback. You've got to understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to success. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of not trying. The only real failure is giving up. The only real mistake is not learning from your mistakes. Every successful person has failed. Every wealthy person has lost money. Every happy person has experienced sadness. The difference is they didn't quit. They kept going. They learned. They adjusted. They persevered. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to develop strong character. You've got to be honest. You've got to be reliable. You've got to do what you say you're going to do. You've got to keep your promises. You've got to be a person of integrity. Character isn't something you were born with and can't change, like your fingerprints. It's something you weren't born with and must take responsibility for forming. Your character determines your destiny. Your integrity attracts opportunity. Your reputation opens doors. Build yourself into someone people can trust, someone people want to work with, someone people want to invest in. That's how you create lasting wealth and happiness. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to have a philosophy that works. You've got to have a set of guiding principles that lead you towards success. You've got to think about life differently than the masses. Poor thinking habits will keep you poor. Rich thinking habits will make you rich. What's your philosophy about money? What's your philosophy about work? What's your philosophy about learning? What's your philosophy about relationships? Your philosophy shapes your attitude. Your attitude shapes your actions. Your actions shape your results. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you've got to take massive action. Not someday, not when you feel ready now, today. This moment. The few who do are the envy of the many who only watch. Stop watching. Stop waiting. Stop preparing. Start doing. Start trying. Start building. Action creates clarity. Action creates momentum. Action creates results. You don't need to know every step before you start. You just need to take the first step, then the second, then the third. The path reveals itself as you walk it, but you've got to walk. If you want to be wealthy and happy, remember this: it's not about the destination, it's about who you become along the journey. The real value isn't in the money you accumulate, it's in the person you become while accumulating it. The real joy isn't in achieving the goal, It's in growing into the person capable of achieving it. The greatest reward in becoming a millionaire is not the amount of money that you earn. It is the kind of person that you have to become a millionaire. And the same is true for happiness. The reward isn't just being happy. It's becoming the kind of person who can create and maintain happiness regardless of circumstances. So if you want to be wealthy and happy, start today. Start right now. Make the decision. Make the commitment. Take personal responsibility. Develop discipline. Learn constantly. Save consistently. Give generously. Think abundantly. Act courageously. Persist relentlessly. And never, ever give up on yourself or your dreams. Wealth and happiness are waiting for you on the other side of that decision.